Talk with a Mason brother yesterday at my job, and I'm not gonna reveal you his name, but I was just sitting down working and everything, and he needed to go to the pharmacy. He was kind of lost, so I walked him to the pharmacy, and it took about 2 minutes. And as we was walking, we was talking, man. He was like, "Man, do you work in an emergency department?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, brother, I do. Sometimes I work there." Then we had this huge conversation. Like, I'm in Detroit, so we had this huge conversation about how the crime rate is. And where the place I work with, we have a lot of gunshot victims. And he telling me, man, like, dang, man, that's very difficult. How you do it? And I was like, I just have a mental strong mind, and I just got to deal. I just deal with it. It's part of my job. I love helping people. I love serving people. I love, I'm passionate about other people's needs. And he was saying, brother, I work with juvenile delinquents, and I work with a lot of young men that's ages like from 13 to 25. And I just want to know what's going on with them. What's going on in their mindset? Why is so much crime in the black communities? And I say, you know why? Because it's the lack of knowledge. It's the lack of their history, of understanding. And I got into this whole detail about in Book of Deuteronomy 28, it says that, about the whole curses if we disobey God's commandments, which it was for us. The commandments was for us, the whole tribe of Israel. That's where our ancestors came from. We was his favorite tribe. But if we disobey his commandments, he will curse us from all other nations, and then we'll be in captivity and slavery for 400 years. So we had this deep conversation. So basically, it's a lot of young folks, they're getting raised by the media, or the fathers is not in the household, or they are in the household, but they're not developing a spiritual connection with their sons or daughters, instilling them the right knowledge. It says in the Bible, it says a stern discipline waits them on the right path. So if no discipline, destruction will be created. And basically, man, and it's sad, how trifling, where we living at right now. And he was like, young brother, what's your calling? And I said, ministry. And he was like, you took the words right out of my mouth. What can you do to stand out from these pastors? Because there's so many churches in the black community, but the black community is still suffering economically. It's still suffering, religiously, everything. What can you do? So I talked and prayed to God. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to continue to voice my opinion. I'm going to continue to be the voice, the leader. Something what Martin Luther King did. I'm going to stand out. I'm going to go against the status quo. I'm going to go against tradition. I'm going to instill knowledge and talk about the history of our people and how we can rise up. I'm going to talk about, set up some type of program when I get money, how to be economically empowered. That's so important. With no opportunities, with no education, these kids gonna be out in the streets. And then we got the young boys, we got these pimps, we got these thugs telling them how to live life and how to be a man. And I'm gonna talk about how important it is to have a father in your life. Just, interesting talk. Just feel like I had to, bring this out. It was fresh in my mind from yesterday. But you guys enjoy your day. We gotta unite, brothers and sisters, man, and get past this whole racial thing, man. We gotta really know ourselves so we can be treated as a human being in the United States of America. And so we don't have to be feeding into the negative stereotypes that we're constantly fed into from other races of people. Mexicans stick together, Koreans stick together, whites, they stick together, they invest their money in stocks and bonds. What are we, consumers? We gotta elevate this shit. We gotta stop this shit. It's your boy Young Link. I'm out. Deuces.